What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, CEO, MTS Nutrition, Chief Marketing Officer, TigerFitness.com, creator of the Outright Bar, as well as partner in the Ambrosia Collective and 015 Nutrition. So let's talk a little bit about how youngsters gain lean mass. How do they gain weight? So I'm getting my emission. The state of Tennessee is getting rid of the emissions testing, meaning that you no longer have to get smogged. It's gone. However, if you fall on a certain date, you have to get it done one more time. So we were there getting our emissions tested. Horrible line, like an hour long, right? So long story short, I'm talking to the guy, all right? And he's doing it. He said, hey, man, you're a bodybuilder, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm a bodybuilder. I'll lift a little bit of weights. I get a little crazy with it. I got the guns. All right, so he's like, hey, you know, my son can't gain weight. He's 16 years old. He's 6'1", 150 pounds. What should I do? And I'm like, well, it's all about eating. So everybody thinks there's this magical thing. For example, he tells me, he goes, well, I keep telling him to eat more red meat. And that might be somewhat true because red meat is pretty calorically dense. I love the health value of red meat. However, I don't know if that's the whole answer. The answer is pretty simple. These kids have to eat more than they burn. For example, I have the same issue, right? My son, Thomas, he weighs 92 pounds, deadlifts 255 pounds. I just put it on this very channel. Kid wrestles, wrestling practice 5 to 7 days a week. He competes in meets the other 2 days a week, right? Sometimes 3. He is training for the silver gloves in boxing. He is a hell of a boxer, and that's at least 1 to 2 days a week. And check it out, 4 nights a week. In addition to 2 to 3 games on weekends, he plays competitive travel soccer. This kid can't eat enough to gain lean mass, to gain weight, to do anything. The kid is barely meeting his caloric needs. And being that he has my fast metabolism, he's going to have issues gaining weight. So what do? Well, we do what we can. And he has gained a lot of weight, believe it or not, in the past couple of years. But the bottom line is, the last thing you want to do with kids is put them on some kind of a meal plan. Even if a kid is having trouble losing weight, I do not like having kids on a diet. What we do need to do is teach kids how to eat better for their goals. For example, the wrestlers I coach, I tell them to build their diet around protein. Get a gram of protein per pound of body weight daily. That's step 1. Step 2, if you're trying to lose weight, is to eat more healthy, balanced, whole foods, right? Like a kid who's trying to lose weight, I don't want him eating Doritos, Cheetos, and Fritos. I want him eating apples and oranges and things like that, things that are satiating and nutritious, right? Now, if some kid is trying to gain weight, it's pretty simple. You need to eat to the level of discomfort. And if you can't do that, that's fine. Just realize you're probably not going to gain weight. So it comes down to how bad this kid wants it. So if this kid wants to gain weight, he's going to eat to the point of discomfort. My son Thomas does not like eating to the point of discomfort. So what do? Well, the good news is in wrestling and boxing, he's killing everybody because the kid is by far the strongest by probably triple the next best kid in the state. So for boxing and wrestling, it's amazing. Would he be able to excel at football? No, but he's not a football player. So I'm not going to sit there. First of all, I would never, ever, ever tell my kid, you got to eat this, you got to do this, you got to do that. I make suggestions. Hey, Thomas, man, if you want to gain, you might want to finish your dinner. Hey, Thomas, man, if you want to gain, you might want to have some extra dessert. Thomas, man, that candy's delicious. Eat candy. Now, this is the opposite of most kids. Realize this is a very unique problem. We have an obesity epidemic in this country, and our kids are fatter and fatter and fatter, but they're also now playing 3 sports 7 days a week like my kids. The problem is kids are too fucking sedentary. They don't have they don't have the activity going on to burn calories. I guarantee you this, if Thomas was basically like 90% of his peers, Thomas would be much bigger. Maybe not fat. He does have my genetics, but he would be fat-er. He would definitely not be 92 pounds. He might be 110 pounds, but it wouldn't be a pretty 110 pounds. So we're assuming this video, and I'm going off track, is being made for kids who are active, which unfortunately is few and far between now. Because we're in a society where fat acceptance is the norm. And we're in a society where it's okay for people to eat themselves to death. And if we say anything about it, we're fat shaming. No, we just care and we don't want people to die. I'm not out there murdering puppies like Fauci. What I'm doing is I'm trying to help people live. But this video is not about them. This video is not, if you're watching this video, your kid is probably active. Your kid's probably a baseball player, a football player, a wrestler, whatever it is, trying to get lean and strong. Or he's a kid who goes to the gym and just wants to get in shape to get girls. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So what do? You got to eat. You got to monitor your weight. You also got to monitor how you look, right? Now, if your kid weighs 100 pounds and he starts shoveling in food like 10 PBJ sandwiches a day, 15 outright bars, a gallon of ice cream, let's say he's just eating. All right. If you start looking sloppy and fat, then you're kind of missing the boat. You're kind of doing it wrong. However, if you are still looking good and gaining lean mass, then you're doing really good. You're doing well. But we don't want to turn a fit, healthy kid into an obese kid at risk for diseases and viruses. We don't want that. We don't want that at all. You got to monitor what you're eating. Now, here's what I recommend. I recommend if you're trying to gain, I want you to get a gram of protein per pound of lean. So per pound of body weight per day, not lean body weight, pound of body weight. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you get 100 grams of protein. For fat, it's usually not an issue. Kids usually eat fattier foods because fat's delicious and a lot of treats they eat. Get about 0.5 grams per pound of body weight. So that'd be 50 at the minimum. Now, if they get more, that's fine, right? And then for carbohydrate, if you're trying to gain, as much as you can. Now, I want you to stick to at least 50 to 80% of that being healthy carbs. What are healthy carbs? Let's say oatmeal, apples, bananas, fruits, veggies, sweet potatoes, things like that. But you're a kid. If you want to have a bowl of Fruity Pebbles, have a bowl of Fruity Pebbles. If you want to have a bag of Doritos and you're trying to gain weight, have a bag of Doritos. But again, this is for the very small part of the population that has trouble gaining weight, which again is not the norm. Hopefully that helps y'all. Bottom line is for people to gain, I almost missed out. Guys, you got to lift. Your kid's got to lift, right? If your kid is able to get a good trainer, a good coach, you got to lift. Now, how do I recommend kids lift? That's well beyond the purview of this story, but let's tell you how you put on weight. Stick to the basics, stick to the big three, man. Big four, I'm sorry. I want you to do this. I want you to do overhead press. I want you to do some kind of a bench press, squats, deadlifts, okay? That's what I want you to do. Bench press, overhead press, squats, deadlifts. And if you can, throw in some rows, but do those. Train at least 3 to 4 days a week with weights. Don't worry about doing too much cardio because if you're an athlete, you're going to be doing cardio in the sport. If you got to do cardio to train for your sport, that's a different story. But I don't want little Timmy who weighs 100 pounds and wants to weigh 120 pounds go for a 5-mile jog. That's just not good for what he wants to do, right? He wants to pack in calories, wants to put on size. So it's a matter of eating enough and lifting to stimulate. Now, I'll tell you what, if you're 13, 14, 15, 16 years old, your body's going through some changes, man. It's called puberty. And when you're going through puberty, you're going to have a lot of hormones surging. When you have those hormones surging, you're going to be able to gain more lean mass than you will ever gain in your life. Take advantage of it. Eat big, train hard, get big. That's how it goes. Anyway, hopefully this answered all of your questions about that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just start listening to what people ask me in real life, and I'm going to start answering on these videos. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you have supplements you want to buy, I'm not going to throw this out there, but if kid has trouble eating enough food, you might want to buy a protein powder. For some kids, it's hard to get a gram of protein per pound of body weight. For that, I do recommend my MTS Nutrition Machine Whey. As far as supplements for children, the data I've seen, again, check with your doctor before doing anything I say, anything at all. Creatine. If you get your kids some creatine, that's a beautiful thing. Creatine is safe, effective, and will help them not only perform in sports, but make lean mass gains, and also help them cognitively, because creatine does have a benefit for your brain. Okay, a good vitamin, something like Immortal, if your kid can swallow pills, that's great. My kids aren't good at swallowing pills. Well, they are now, but they weren't for a while, so I had them drink ambrosia nectar. But again, man, I own a supplement company. Their kids, if they're eating healthy, good food, they generally don't need much. Anyway, hopefully that helped you out. I'm Marc Lobliner. Be sure to check us out, tigerfitness.com, for all your nutritional supplement needs. That's not a game. So I've been breaking PRs left and right. It's crazy. I got a 150-pound dumbbell press for 17 reps. No elbow pain. I got 600-plus pound deadlifts for 3 reps after my back workout. No back pain. And those are things I've been suffering with to the point where I've tried TB 500, BP 157. I've tried everything. But I'll tell you what, we were out of stock because we reformulated it. But Machine Motion, I've been taking it for 8 weeks straight after it being off the market to be reformulated for a little bit. I'll tell you what, all these increases in strength, yeah, okay, the other supplements have something to do with it. I'll tell you what, it's easier to lift when you're not in pain. The way this product with Tamiflex in it controls inflammation is something that is astounding. Anyway, if you're dealing with joint pain, try Machine Motion. It will definitely help you out.